and welcome to the High Achievers Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Christina Scholand, and I am so happy that you're here with me today. I'm hoping that this episode really hits you in a perfect time. And not that I hope that you're going through something hard, but we all go through our hard times. And this really struck me at this time, and I thought, and I hope that you have some grace with me, because really it's something that we all go through. We all go through adversity. And and it doesn't matter what it is. Like that's just what life is. Life is full of ups and downs, and we make it through every single one of our worst days, right? And otherwise, if we didn't, we wouldn't be where we're at. And it doesn't matter where you're at right now. You made it through one of your previously really bad days. So that is what I really wanted to chat with you about today, because I feel like it is something. There's a lot of people who are going through some really terrible times right now, and I feel that there's probably more people going through it than we even think of, because there's a lot of people who are quiet about their struggles. And I like to see, I have a different kind of a way of thinking. Um, and I don't think I was necessarily born with it, but it came with time, and it has gotten me through everything. Everything it's gotten me through. I think of everything that happens as a challenge. If it's something that we see as negative, I see it as a challenge, because I think I might have talked about this before, but the word struggle makes me feel like I am behind. It makes me feel like I'm the underdog. I am the one on the ground. And I don't like that. I refuse to be that. So I do not have a victim mentality. I refuse to have a victim mentality, because of, like, when you say that you're in when you think that you're in a victim uh place, it blocks the win. It blocks your breakthrough. And when I say block, I mean you're putting up a wall. Because especially if you like a victim mentality, you're probably not listening to this podcast. You're probably not listening to me. So what I wanted to talk about today is getting through those blocks, shifting your beliefs, shifting your mindset into I feel like when you are going through something, some sort of adversity, some sort of, a spiritual attack. A lot of times it's, me, maybe you don't, but I feel that, especially when we're all made for more. We're all made to be amazing. We're created in God's image. And that leads me to, God is the great I am, right? What are the most powerful words that you can speak into existence? I am. What are those words followed up with? When you say I am, what do you follow it up with? Wayne Dyer. I'm sure most people know who Dr. Wayne Dyer is. He was an amazing human. And there's so many things that he shared that are so valuable. And he said that if you follow I am with I am weak, or I am, ugly, I am whatever, it's blasphemy, because I am is the highest place of our existence. Okay. So when you say I am, you follow with something powerful. I am made in in God's image. I am strong. I am resilient. I am abundant. What are you? So you got to speak it into existence. So if you are under some sort of attack, whether it is, I'm going through my own. I'm going through my own, which, and I won't even go into it, but it's probably it is, it's something that I never thought that any person would ever do to me. But you know what? I won't give that situation power. Okay. But I will allow it to empower me, because I feel that like those kinds of challenges, that adversity fuels our potential. Like, use it as fuel. Like that adversity, that challenge can absolutely be the greatest opportunity for your growth, for your hugest growth that you could ever be through, that you could ever go through. I know that for myself, going through what I am going through right now, I'm like, what is gonna come out of this? This is gonna be freaking amazing. What is this potential? Because I'm going to be, whatever comes out of this, I am going to be so powerful. Who am I going to be able to impact when I'm even going through this? Because I truly feel that as I go through any kind of a challenge, I'm able to help someone else in even a more powerful way to be able to get through their challenges. So, what I want to do is help you, turn a breakdown into a breakthrough. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And really, there's so much power in that I am statement. And I don't sit there and say, oh, look in the mirror and say all of these I ams. I don't, I, that's not how I roll. But when we hear ourselves talk to ourselves all day, who do you talk to the most? You might be thinking, oh, I talk to my kids, or I talk to my spouse, or I talk to my dogs. I talk to, my bestie. But really, it's you. So what are you saying to you? And you have to be talking in a positive way. You have to be talking to yourself in this uplifting way. You really have to shift your beliefs. And that is what I created this podcast for, is to help somebody shift their way of thinking, because there is so much everybody underestimates the power that they have. Everybody underestimates what they can actually do and the impact that they can make. You can absolutely impact yourself with your words. So, have you ever seen there's a social media reel of the little girl, and she's in the bathroom, and she's in the mirror, and she's talking about, I am, all of these things. And what we see is her believing so much in herself. And I love it, because she's already set an early standard for herself. She's already set this into motion of all of the amazing things that she could be. And that's how we need to speak to ourselves. I'm 51 years old. I need to be talking to myself like that all the time. And there are most of the times that I do talk to myself like that. I'm like, I know that there's somebody out there that I can impact. I need to impact myself first, and that empowers me to set into motion more impact for someone else. And I love that. I love that, wondering who is waiting for me that day. Who is going to be coming into my path? Do you know that every day before I get out of bed, I do a meditation, and I say a prayer, and I always ask God, I'm like, please bring the people into my life who need me. Bring me the perfect people for me, and I am perfect for them. So it's something that I feel is really, really powerful to start your day. And because, and I think that we talked about this before as well. And you know what, I never really know, because I talk about this all the time when I'm on coaching calls, when I'm on leadership calls, when I'm talking to anybody from my team, when I'm talking to my kids. These are the things that I'm saying, so I always lose track. Because, but you know what, as long if I'm repeating myself, it's something that works. It's something that I want it to stick, you know. So I just really, really feel that it's something that we need when we start, if we start in a deficit, you know, of in the day, when we start the day out in a deficit, it makes it harder to get up to the level where we're going to find empowerment. But if you start your day before you even get out of bed, empowered, and you know, feeding yourself positive beliefs, positive words, positive power, you know, and getting into, when you are in a meditation state, the how you feel, if any of you are meditators, it is something that when you calm yourself, because we can get caught up in all of the busyness and the stress of a day, and you know, or a situation, the challenge that we're in at the time, it can really take over in our minds. And I know this, but when we sit in a quiet space, we sit there and we get centered, then it's something that when we get into, we can hear clear answers. And this is probably for a whole nother podcast, but when you are seeking answers and you get into that quiet space and you feel a peace with whatever it is, if you have a shaky energy, or you know, it's like, I'm one of those people, I'm very visual. So when I'm saying something or someone's saying to me, I see, so it's like a movie in my head. A lot of you probably completely understand what I'm saying. So when it is when it's an open, when it's a clear positive, it doesn't even matter. It might be, you know what, you're never getting that money back. You're never, the money that was stolen from you is never coming back. Okay, so if you have even though it's not a good feeling, but it's like it's a call, like a calmness, because it's like, you know what, okay, this is our situation and we move on. That is your answer. But when you have, like, when it's all shaky, and I picture energy waves, you know, when it's that, when you have the clear answer, whether you like the answer or not, it's like there's steady energy waves. But if they are shaky and, you know, they're like all up and down waves, that it's because it's not true. So pay attention to that. If you, it like, and I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense to you, but this is what I visualize. So think, I want you to think that way. And when you are like, if you got questions, let me know. I can help you through that, because and explain it better. But you know, then what you have to do at that point is, how are you going to move forward? Because if you stay in that space, it's a very unhealthy space to be in. When we are in the middle of a challenge, if you're going to sit in your pity party and, you know, cry in a puddle of tears, it's really unhealthy to stay there. And it just, you know, it blocks any success breakthroughs. It will block any kind of positive that's supposed to be coming your way. You're going to block any answers. You're going to block so much. So when you're like, okay, so this is what I like to tell people, you know, when we're coaching or in leadership calls, it's like, okay, you got 5 minutes to, like, you know, we say have a little pity party, but we're going to find a solution, your solution, and then we're moving forward. okay, so here's where you're at. Now this is your way out of this, and this is how you move forward. Because if you do not move forward, you're going to stay there. Life is hard. Like, we have hard things that happen. And so you choose your heart. Are you going to stay where you're at and, have your pity party? And I'm not trying to discredit or, you know, discount whatever it is that anybody is going through. But are you going to stay here? Because the longer you stay here, the unhealthier you become, and you are blocking every kind of a breakthrough. Well, when you decide, okay, I'm going to move forward, we're moving forward, you're going to have to go through some shit. You're going to have to break through all of that shit. And that's hard too. But choose your hard. Which one are you going to sit here and wallow in it because this will never get you anywhere? Or are you going to be over here and work your way through it? Because that is going to catapult you, and that is what is fueling the potential and your possible greatest breakthrough of anything that you've ever had. So you've got to pick your hard. And like, I will never sit over here. I don't like that, because then I'm victim. I'm poor me. And every time somebody talks to me, I'm going to be talking about this. And people are going to be like, dude, get a grip. Do something about it. You're smart enough to make something happen. You know how to move forward. Or like listen to a podcast. Go listen to that crazy lady that tells you to, get off your butt and go do something. Because you can. Like, you can make a difference. And this is this is the shift that you need in your brain. Don't let it break your brain. Put it back together and let's move on. Because it is like, you have to, that's the only way you're going to get out of it. It's the only way you're going to get out of it. I know people who are way into their 60s and 70s. When they have things happen to them, and they will always be a victim. Their entire lives they have chosen to be a victim and to not do anything to get out of their situation. Do you really want that at any age? I don't care how old somebody is. You've got so much potential. You can do anything. And whatever it may be, whether it's, family challenges, work challenges, financial challenges, anything, you have a way to get through every single thing. And what you think about grows. What you focus on grows. Like, and I really truly believe that, because when you think about, let's think about a magnet, that whole visual thing. This is what just popped into my head. It's a magnet. So when you have a magnet, it's going to attract more of what it is. It's going to attract things, right? It's going to attract the metal. And you want to attract good things. You don't want to push them away. And that focus, it's going to, I have mascots. And they're furry. So, but you have to focus on the positive things, because when you are doing that, you are attracting more and more and more and more. And so when you start talking about that, the greatness that we were talking about, I am abundant. I am financially free. I am financially abundant. However it is whatever it is that you are seeking, that is what you need to be feeding your subconscious, because your subconscious takes that as a command. It takes it as a command. Like, it doesn't know any different but to create that. So if you say, I am weak, I am fat, I am ugly, I am all of those terrible things, you believe that. And you know what? We are somehow programmed to believe negative more so than positive. I mean, especially in the climate that we're in anymore in society and social media, we are more likely to believe something negative than we are. We'll research something positive. We'll be like, no, that can't be true, because we only believe negative. So we need to shift that. We need to believe the positive about ourselves. So I really want you to get into that state and thinking in that I am state and feel. Going back to the meditation, you sit back and think about what you want. I see this mountain every day. Do you know that I created this? I didn't make the mountain. Okay, so I didn't make the mountain, but I made this my view. I drove down the road and I saw that mountain and I said to myself, that's going to be my view. And I felt it. I felt it so deeply that I had tears in my eyes. I remember my daughter was like, Mom, are you crying? I'm like, no. Yeah, I was, because I felt it. And I felt the joy and the strength and everything that came along with that mountain. And I was like, this is where we're going to live. And I went home and I made it happen. I lived in a different state. You have to feel it. And when you feel it, everything goes into motion. So I want you to figure out what it is that you want. What do you want? What do you want to achieve? What breakthrough do you want? What do you want on the other side of that? What's on the other side of that wall that you think is 6 feet thick of bricks? It's not. Your mind is much stronger than that. You are empowered to be able to break through that. You just have to find the power. And it's there. You just got to tap into it. All you have to do is shift up here. And it takes work, because you have to commit to yourself to think that way. You have to believe that way. And you don't have to research. The only research is here and here. You've got everything that we want in our lives is waiting for us. We just have to go get it. Do you believe that? Because I certainly do. I know that what's happening to me right now is this big. It might feel like it's huge and massive. I'm going to get through it. What you're going through right now, you're going to get through it too. And you're going to be so empowered at the end of it. You're going to be unstoppable. You have zero limits. The only limits that you have are what you are putting on yourself. Those limits were inflicted on you from somebody else. So now you've got somebody else who's telling you those limits are bullshit. You are unstoppable. So it's time to shift your beliefs. It's time to believe that you are so much more than what you're thinking right now, and you can achieve anything that you put your mind and your heart to. So I hope that you got something from this podcast today. I hope that maybe there's somebody else that might need these words as well. If you subscribe, share it, I would much appreciate it. I would love that. Share it with somebody else that can use some positive words to get through a challenging time, because that's all it is a challenge. And we'll all win in the end. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a fantastic unstoppable, unlimited week. Take care.